Why don't you meet my friend Stevie here? His father died a few years ago.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Steve needs kind of help with a big brother.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
Big brothers of Los Angeles need more men to be big brothers and more men.
Can't take much more of this.
Continue their work.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
Help a good boy become a better man, huh?
I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Big brothers and big sisters always do. They're doing good stuff. That was.
I was just thinking.
Great Lloyd Bridges.
Perfect juxtapositions there.
Yeah, thank you.
I picked the wrong week to give up snorting oxytocin.
That's right.
And that's what this next story is about.
Welcome back to Nothing Out Loud. I'm J. Ted.
I am your Miss Parker. And we might be on our way to a cure for jealousy.
Oh, what is it? I can't imagine.
So, as usual, science comes to the rescue, even when it comes to something seemingly petty and yet overwhelming and not at all scientific.
Is it this?
And there was much rejoicing.
Actually, jealousy is very scientific, but we override science all the time. We override our nature all the time, and this might help.
Yeah, drugs.
The neuropeptide oxytocin can reduce jealousy in established romantic partners when administered intranasally, according to a new research article published in the Journal of Psychopharmacology. The findings provide further evidence that oxytocin influences the brain in a manner that promotes the strengthening of romantic bonds. Well, that's what oxytocin does. It's a bonding. High. Well, it gets you high on love.
High on love.
But not in a jealous, possessive kind of way. In an agape sort of way.
Okay, carry on.
Jealousy is a widely experienced emotion in romantic relationships and can result in domestic violence and breakups. In extreme cases, romantic jealousy can become pathological, leading to a morbid condition called stalking on Facebook. No, Othello syndrome. I don't know what that is.
Othello? Isn't that a movie?
It's a Shakespeare play.
Isn't it a game?
That was probably a movie. It might also, yes, it is a game. It's a game with little, played with little stones, I think. It's like
Chinese checkers?
I can't remember. I'm thinking of backgammon, but
about as
I think it's more like
Chinese checkers. About as complicated as I get.
I think it is closer to Chinese checkers than something like backgammon. However, relatively little research has been conducted on the cause of jealousy and potential ways of reducing it. Well,
drugs will help.
Yes, drugs will help, but jealousy is natural. But like I said, we override nature all the time.
Yeah, so, take some drugs.
Yeah, take some drugs and reprogram your brain and snort oxytocin.
Little research.
The neuroreptile,
that's a mouthful.
Oxytocin has sometimes been referred to, hey, and reptiles probably don't get jealous. No, so there you go. Has sometimes been referred to.
They just eat they'd eat their mate if they were jealous.
Or they'd eat the mate's babies, eat the eggs.
Lizards don't stay angry for long.
Because they can't remember what they were angry about. The neuropeptide oxytocin has sometimes been referred to as the love hormone and is important for the formation of both.
Porn music, damn it.
Damn. You can imitate it. Here, play it on here. Yeah. It's important for the formation of both parental bonds and ones between couples. However, in humans, there is increasing evidence that it may also help to maintain bonds by reducing couple conflict and reducing interest in attractive strangers of the opposite sex. Now, who wants that?
Well, I know. What's the point of that?
Yeah, what's the point of living if you can't be attracted to random strangers?
My colleagues and I therefore decided to investigate whether we could show that administering oxytocin, these guys just want to get high. Or they want to get other people high.
I feel you do.
That are trying to get dates.
You would think they'd want to create jealousy. So Administering oxytocin intranasally might help in maintaining existing bonds by reducing feelings of jealousy towards a partner in a laboratory controlled context where romantic jealousy is evoked in response to imagined or real contexts of partner infidelity.
Anti-jelly juice.
Oh, give me the anti-jelly juice.
It's like Narcan for jealousy. You just pump it in like,
Yeah, and then you're like,
I don't care anymore.
oh yeah, go ahead, make out with that dude. Here, have another one. The study included 70 heterosexual couples in a stable, intimate relationship. The participants first completed a set of validated psychological assessments. They were then randomly assigned to receive a dose of oxytocin or a placebo before completing 2 related tasks in the laboratory.
Okay. Are you have a boner yet?
It sounds very clinical to me, and I'm wondering if it's replicable in real life.
You'd have to secretly dose people with oxytocin.
I would volunteer.
Okay. Get some and I'll secretly dose you.
Well, I don't need to be secretly dosed. Just when the feeling
But you're
happens.
Not jealous, you're not jealous.
I'm not incapable of jealousy.
Well, no, of course not. Everybody is, especially women.
Actually, sidebar, biologically, men are more jealous. If you think about it, it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, possessive, for sure.
Well, it's because if the mate of their choice, if another man gets to her, she has limited reproductive capability. If another man gets to her, she's tied up for probably at least a year.
Yeah, but men haven't thought about that for a long time.
It's not a matter of
Plenty
thinking
of fish
about
out there. Also, there's plenty of fish. It's an app.
But the instinct is still there. You still identify partners that you prefer over other ones, right?
Not really. No, just a man whore.
You're just a man whore. You don't care. You're not picky.
Nope. No, it's not. I have picky.
Any port in a storm.
No. Super picky.
Okay, I'm confused.
What?
You said that you don't have preferences, and yet you said you're picky.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Not that much, actually. I'm going to move on here. One task involved imagining their partner committing various acts of emotional or sexual infidelity and then rating their emotional reaction. In another task, the participants were asked to play a virtual cyberball game with their partner and a stranger. Unbeknownst to the participants, the game was a pre-programmed scenario designed to evoke jealousy by systematically excluding them while the person who they believed to be their partner and the stranger played together. You know what this brings up for me is my jealousy that I experience when women exclude me. That is one of the most intense types of jealousy. It's not romantic jealousy. It's friend jealousy.
Right.
And that is remarkably strong.
I just don't have any friends. That's the way I keep it simple.
There is that.
Just kidding.
I'm glad you're paying me.
I have lots of friends, but they all live in Canada, so you can't meet them.
They all live in Canada, and they're so polite
Yeah.
that they'd never do anything to make you have any sort of negative emotion whatsoever.
All right.
The researchers found in both tasks that participants who received oxytocin tended to report feeling less jealous compared to participants who had not received oxytocin.
And
I was just going to make a personal comment about oxytocin. I think I know what it feels like to get a rush of it.
but that's rectally. They're
Well-
talking about through the nose.
Yeah, but rectally is a lot more
Derailed.
it's a lot more sensitive
Gotcha.
and it's a lot more distracting.
Up the nose or up the butt.
So if it's up the butt, there's also the matter of you kind of forget that you were jealous, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's
mean,
it's quite a
A lot of
distraction.
drugs will do that. A lot of drugs will distract you.
Right. But in this case, it would be the form of administration would be distracting. So do you have an opinion about this? What do you think?
I don't know. It's just deal with the root of the problem, jealousy. Instead, like you're just gonna take a drug for everything. I'm jealous. Okay. Yeah. It's like shit. How do we?
Well, but they're talking about the kind of jealousy. I think their whole thesis is jealousy can be really bad. It can make people violent.
Right.
And
But you're talking about the jealousy that like people feel on a daily basis. It's more like, like they didn't get the promotion they wanted, or somebody else got it.
well, this is specifically bonding and romantic
Or why didn't I
jealousy.
make that move? Like on some business deal or something. Why didn't I make that move? Or, and like somebody else adjacent to them jumped on it earlier for one. You know what I mean? You guys jealous. Like I could see that kind of jealousy on a daily basis.
I don't feel
Being
that.
envious of other people.
Oh, envious. That's a
Like
little
the-
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Feeling
You just segued off.
feeling left out. But my feeling about romantic jealousy is you sit with it and you follow it back and you say, when did I first feel this way?
Seems like a lot of work.
No, it's actually quite satisfying.
I just avoid the jealousy. It's just my go-to move.
Do you?
I
what
just
do you
I
mean?
go, and then I don't feel it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't stop feeling it. I just kind of have a better understanding of it. I think, when did I first feel that? No, it was then. No, it was before that. No, it was before that. It was. This would be an interesting study. Only children. Do they have less jealousy?
I don't know
mean,
where
just
you're going with this.
just on a small scale, people I know who are only children don't experience jealousy the way people with siblings do.
I guess that makes sense. We'll have to ask Dr. Z.
Well, she was
She's
one
an
of my
only child.
examples of somebody who doesn't experience it. And I also look at my child, who's an only child, and I think they experience it, but not like I did.
Yeah, well, firstborns are assholes.
But if you're the only child, you're the firstborn, you're the lastborn, and you're the hero and the asshole, and you're kind of all of it. And you're doted on.
You're a dead end that needs to be wrapped up.
See, I was the second born, so I was the
ends.
scapegoat. So were you.
Me.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. No, I wasn't the scapegoat.
I was.
I was more like, I don't know, just angry.
Yeah, I was that too.
Not jealous. Angry.
I was insanely jealous.
Anger was my go-to for a while. And then I grew up. I got angrier.
You got angry.
And then I mellowed out.
10 men.
Anyway, let's get this fucking thing back on
Then
track.
you discovered weed.
That's what it is. You want to do this one, or do you want to do this one?
Let's do that one. Okay, let's do this one now, and then we'll do the
All right,
Florida
we'll
man
work this
last.
one real quick, because we can't go the whole show or a whole bunch of shit, 4 segments without playing.
Oh, Semen is tight.
Can't go that without that.
That's like the full teaching load.
Hey, speaking of loads,
A full teaching load went into this product that we're about to talk
a
about.
full fish load. So apparently, we're going to talk about salmon jizz cups. And I can say that because the word jizz is used in this particular article. One possible answer to the growing plastics problems could come from a weird place. Salmon jizz. Nope, I'm not kidding. I just read that out
They
loud.
can use the whole part of it. They can use the
In
whole
a
fish.
study published recently in the Journal of the American Chemical Society, a team of researchers from China, of course, detail how they've created what they call DNA plastics, a plastic material made from strands of DNA.
So it's somebody's job to jerk off salmon.
I think that's how it works. But yeah, so they're going to turn salmon into plastic mugs.
Do they kill the salmon after they jerk them off?
I don't know.
Or do they keep them around?
I don't know how they do that. How do they?
To create the new material, researchers extracted DNA from salmon sperm and mixed it with chemicals from vegetable oil to create a gel-like substance.
It was already a gel-like substance.
Doesn't stay that way, though. Don't ask me how I know that. That substance can then be formed into a mold and freeze-dried. Researchers in the study used this process, which they called
Aqua welding. Where's Aquaman to protect these poor salmon?
From being jerked off?
I don't think they're jerking them off. They're probably squishing them.
Yeah.
They put them in a big squish or thing.
And then they eat them to produce a bunch of little tchotchkes,
I don't know.
including a mug, a model of a DNA molecule, and some puzzle pieces.
Nice.
The mug, frankly, looks like something made from sperm and isn't going to win any design awards anytime soon.
Hey, look.
And with
Dr.
that,
Z.
Dr. Z, the progenitor of this article, provider of this article.
The bringer to attention of this article.
So we're saying somebody's job is to jerk off salmon.
Yeah, she keeps saying that. What are they doing?
Recycling.
Are you jealous because you don't have that job?
I need some oxytocin. Recycling this particular plastic is easy. You just jerk off the salmon again.
Oh,
A
You're just gonna
special
keep saying that.
enzyme can digest the DNA to break it down, or it can be dunked in water to turn it back into a gel. That, incidentally, also means the mug might not be the best use of this particular plastic technology. Yeah, it could break it down.
I mean, come on, China. So are they just taking? So are they going to like mass produce a synthetic DNA? That like this chemical strand is what they're after. So the salmon spunk plastic uses about 5% of the energy that it takes to make regular plastic. I wish I would have made these jokes. Plastics made from biological material like cornstarch have much lower emissions over their lifetime than regular plastics made with petrochemicals, but still need heat and energy to create, meaning producing them on a fossil fuel grid is still a major problem for the climate. Oh, salmon jizz cups.
And it also sounds like they water will degrade them over time. So they might be disposable cups that have an eau de salmon spunk in them. You're gonna drink out of them, and you're just gonna get the faintest parfum of salmon.
Or you could just eat the bottle.
There you go. When you're done with it, you just eat it.
Eat the bottle.
That's one way to biodegrade it.
Yeah.
To the best of our knowledge, our reported DNA plastics are the most environmentally sustainable materials of any known plastics. Dayong Yang, a researcher.
Oh, so many jokes.
A researcher at Tianjin University,
Yang.
who led the study, told the Times of UK.
Ready for this? Go ahead.
The new bioplastic, researchers say, isn't dependent on fish jizz. You can use almost any organic material, but it's so much more fun to jerk off a salmon, said the researchers. But there's some big caveats.
Jizz in my pants. Jizz in my pants. Jizz in my pants.
There's some big caveats to the dawn of the jizz plastic age,
Jizz plastic.
including the pretty problematic hurdle that it needs to stay dry in order to retain its shape. To actually use the salmon cum mug the researchers made, you'd need to coat it with a waterproof layer of other plastics of PFAS.
Fast.
PFAS are bad news.
Coming
Okay.
from Dr. Z.
That would make it much harder to recycle. It's probably better in its unadulterated form,
Oh, God.
researchers say, for stuff like packaging and certain electronics that won't get wet.
Okay.
So why are they even talking about mugs? Why don't they just talk about,
Because it's funnier.
I guess it's funnier, printed
Whoever wrote
circuit
that-
boards. I'm thinking about printed circuit boards.
If using
don't get
fish
wet.
spunk puzzle pieces will help chip away at the quickly growing and mammoth problems of fossil fuel plastics, count me in. Wow. He really went all out on the cum jokes.
We couldn't even make them ourselves. They made them all for us.
That was a great article I found on Gizmodo. Or the chief found on Gizmodo.
It's prepackaged, the prepackaged jokes from that article. Thank you very much. It saved us a lot of energy. And for our final story, we had to save the best for last. Now, as I mentioned in the description of this episode, Florida man, nothing not funny ever follows those two words.
Wow.
But it's even funnier when it's
Ohio
preceded by the word naked.
Yes. And followed by the word.
Humps.
Yeah.
Naked Florida man humps tree, punches deputy.
He's dedicated. I wonder if he punched, like, if he humped the tree, then punched the deputy, and then like air humped, like an air hump,
Yeah.
took off running, butt naked.
Well, hey, he was humping a tree. He got interrupted. Nobody likes being
I'll
interrupted.
just blend right in with
when
the
they're
sand.
doing that.
He's naked. He could just blend right into the sand real quick.
Oh, he's pissed though. He's pissed off. He was making sweet love to that
You gotta love
tree.
that. I love Florida man stories. That shit never gets old.
Well, it's a short story, but
Yeah.
okay, there's a picture of him next to a palm tree.
Yeah, he's lovely.
And there's a big heart in the middle. No, I just made that part up.
Yeah.
Between the perpetrator, the perp, and the victim, which is the beautiful palm tree, which is probably not the palm tree.
Hashtag
Just
me too.
yeah, says the tree. It's just a stock photo of an probably
Hashtag leaf too.
Oh,
probably a victim. That tree probably isn't a victim. It doesn't look like a victim to me, but maybe it's a survivor. A Florida man was arrested after doing very Florida man things, including
that's awesome though.
humping a tree
Humping a
and
tree.
running down a street in the nude.
I gotta get this game, by the way.
Which game?
This
Oh,
game.
the Florida. Yes, and we have to play it on air. Remind me to look that up when we're done.
All right.
21-year-old Alonzo Sanchez was found, not to be confused with a dirty Sanchez.
I was gonna say Dirty Sanchez jokes. Here they go.
Yeah, well, this was a clean act, despite being an act of a Florida
What's
man.
wrong with that? I mean, why would the deputy even bother him? It's consensual, obviously.
I don't know. It's Florida. They don't really dig on the tree hugging down there.
Tree humping.
He was hugging and hip thrusting a tree. He was completely naked and allegedly high at the time.
Legend.
Hey, a Florida man story is not complete unless there are bath salts involved.
Yeah, at least he didn't eat somebody's face. Could've-
Well, he probably wanted to eat the deputy's
could've
face.
turned out a lot worse.
Yeah.
So that cleans up yesterday.
Before deputies got to him, the Florida man ran into the street and was nearly hit by a car that had to swerve to avoid him. And the tree's going, damn it! Damn you,
Never
driver.
gets old. Oh, I forgot to play my. Forgot to play that. Damn
What, the Jen?
it. No,
Jen-
no,
Jizz Saki?
no. I thought I had it up here, but I guess I don't. I put a bunch of new stuff in here, but it's old stuff that's going to be not used anymore. That's going to make way for new stuff.
Okay.
Got to retire some of these.
That
Put
was
some
a
of them-
very
retire some of
complicated
them-
way to say what I think you meant.
Florida man. I have this. I just can't.
I can't think of a more appropriate way to end hump day than by a Florida man humping a tree.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think of that. So sorry we didn't stick to the. We didn't. Oh, this is what I meant to say.
Oh. So the Florida man intro becomes the outro.
All that shit's coming. You got anything else you want to say?
I can't top that. You top that?
Fish jizz and a Florida man humping.
And a cure for jealousy.
By the way, is that a refrigerator in a tree?
I thought it was a truck, but the scale makes me think it probably is a refrigerator. And this is in Kentucky.
This is in Kentucky.
Out of one local.
We were looking over this.
This was the tornado aftermath, and there's a picture of a very dead tree with a very dead refrigerator lodged
There's a
in it.
car on top of a house in a tree. In a tree on top of the house.
Yeah, that tree looks like it was completely snuck up on.
Well, and then that's a
and-
roof of a house. And then there's this.
So
There's a
just to the
refrigerator.
tree that got humped by the Florida man,
This
this is how much worse
be
it could
worse.
be.
Ugh.
Just so you know. You
Anyway.
could die with a refrigerator lodged between your branches.
Speaking of which, that's a lot of people to die.
Yeah.
I don't want to end this on a down note, but sorry, I just couldn't get over that. Looks like
That's a big refrigerator.
just turn the whole fucking place upside down. You always hear stuff like that, like, oh, the shit was in a tree or something. But I haven't seen anything like this. This is devastating. It just ripped right through that. That's Dawson Springs. Oops. That whole place got mushed. You know. And on that note, the lightest of all notes, I don't really have anything else to say.
I don't either.
We'll catch up with you guys tomorrow.
We should have played the Florida man after this. It's a happier tree story.
Darn, that's the end.
Don't forget
And if
to
you
hit
don't
the
know,
like.
Hit the bell to subscribe and hit the like or the dislike.
Yeah, tell us if you guys like long format or if we should go back to the 54-second episodes. This.
Seeing as AT&T is not always in charge, but they are always in charge.
This is Nothing Yet Live.
Ah,